What's up, everybody? Coach Mills here, coming at you with a brand new Valorant video. And in this video, we got a lot of things to talk about. First off, we got to talk about the first shot accuracy problem and how there is a giant amount of inconsistency in the game that could be making the game really less skill and more RNG. So we need to talk about all that. And then we need to talk about the Giant Challengers Finals because we know 4 of the teams that are going to be going to the LAN event at the end of May. So let's talk about all that, break it all down. But go to the GameLeap website in the links down below for high quality in-depth advanced guides, VOD reviews, tips, and tricks. We got so much damn content on the GameLeap website. You absolutely have to check it out right now down below. But without further ado, let's jump into the video. Now, this topic has been talked about before, but it's been a long time since it's been addressed, and it's been recently blowing up on different platforms. So I figure we break it down here and we talk about it because that's one of the ways that we can maybe get some change going on behind the scenes at Riot. So this absolutely blew up on Reddit, talking about a clip that someone did based on first shot inaccuracy. Let's roll it here, and then we're gonna talk about it. Let's roll it right now.
I'm not missing nothing. The gun is missing. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. I'm not gonna move my crosshair at all. Ready? Kill, right? Kill. Miss.
Huh?
It's the gun. I was doing a study of this earlier. The gun has a .02 or 0.25 inaccuracy. So like, yeah, that's a kill, but that's not. No kill, kill, no kill, kill, no kill, no kill, kill. So sometimes, like, when you think, like, oh, how did I miss that? It's not your fault. It's the gun's fault.
Now, we've covered first shot inaccuracy many times before, and every single gun has a different amount of first shot inaccuracy, and it's going to change depending on if you're aiming down the sights or if you're crouching. That's going to slightly increase your first shot accuracy every single time. Now, that being said, there's a pretty large group of people, myself included, that don't believe that first shot inaccuracy should exist, especially on certain guns like rifles, for instance, a weapon like the Vandal. Why is there first shot inaccuracy on a gun when connecting with that first or second shot is so damn important for overall getting a kill with that weapon? I mean, think about a weapon like a Sheriff that has first shot inaccuracy. In a lot of scenarios, if you miss that first shot, you're gonna lose the duel. Now, it doesn't matter how small the chance is for you to hypothetically miss a shot, even if you were directly on their head and you perfectly counter-strafe. It is still there. That is still a possibility. And if you do miss that shot, you're probably going to lose the duel. So there's going to be some percentage of the time, even if it's small, where you're actually going to be right on their head and you're aiming perfectly, but you lose a matchup because of it. And to me, that adds in unnecessary RNG. Now, I understand that you want to add RNG in some ways, maybe to some of the other guns that first shot accuracy is not that important, but when you're talking about guns that can potentially one-tap in the head, I really don't think that there should be first shot inaccuracy at all. And maybe some of y'all disagree with me because you like that there's some randomness to it, but imagine the opposite scenario. Imagine someone swinging around the corner and they actually would have missed you, but because the weapon was a little bit inaccurate, it actually connected, which is also equally as bullshit if I'm being honest. Now, know that this gives you a little bit of incentive to aim down the sights and a little bit more incentive to crouch, but I don't really feel like that is going to be justified in the average gunplay fights that happen in the game. Overall, I think this detracts from the gunplay of the game altogether, and I really want to know your opinion on the matter. Do you agree with me? Do you think that this is something that Riot really needs to look into, or do you think that the RNG aspect, however small, serves a specific purpose that just benefits the game in the long run? I really want to know your opinion about all that in the comments down below. Then the next story that we gotta talk about is absolutely nuts because there are teams that made it to the freaking LAN event in NA and EU, and there's teams that didn't make it, and it's actually just freaking crazy. So let's deal with the slugs first. Let's take our licks. Talk about the teams that did not make it to freaking LAN. 100 Thieves, they got eliminated. Hiko and Tears, Steel and Tears. I cannot believe that 100 Thieves is not going to be one of the teams that represents NA when they go to the freaking LAN that's happening at the end of the month. That is absolutely nuts and definitely disappointing to say the least. But a lot of people are citing the reason that 100 Thieves actually didn't qualify is because they failed to adapt to the growing meta of Viper and Astra. I'm going to talk about that a little bit at the end, but Viper and Astra's pick rate has just been skyrocketing, and 100 Thieves didn't really want to play. They weren't interested. They wanted to stick with the Omen, and it just looked like from a composition standpoint, they were being outmatched by teams that they're really better than, and it can definitely be frustrating to see that from the outside looking in. Maybe they just didn't have enough time to practice, or they just wanted to stick with what got them there in the first place. Hard to know for sure, but it definitely is frustrating to know that one of the best teams in all of NA, maybe even the entire world, is not going to be there representing NA or North America. Now, the next one's an actual real doozy. Vision Strikers also got eliminated. That's right, the team that went freaking 100 wins in a row without dropping a single goddamn set. Vision Strikers actually got eliminated. They're no longer going to be qualifying. We don't know quite yet who is actually going to be the team that qualify for Korea, but this is actually really unfortunate because in my personal opinion, Vision Strikers would be the better team than pretty much any team in Korea, maybe even the entire world up against an open field. But because they have been the top dog for so long, they've had a giant target on their back in Korea, and maybe the other teams have caught up to them, and the other teams are looking really sharp, don't get me wrong. But Vision Strikers just was at a fundamental disadvantage going into this tournament. And it's really sad to not be able to see them on the big stage, but because of their record, they're sure to qualify for the big champions, huge event that's similar to Worlds. So we will be seeing them in a LAN at some point, 100%, but it is unfortunate that for this first LAN, they're not going to be able to qualify. Now, the last one that we got to talk about is Cloud9. Cloud9 got eliminated. They are not going to be qualifying. They did pretty well. They had multiple opportunities to qualify, and they just couldn't quite close. That's kind of unfortunate because a lot of people thought that they were going to be qualifying along with the other NA team that we already know gets to represent. But let's talk about the 4 teams that we know did qualify and are going to be at the LAN event. First off, let's talk about EU, Liquid and Fnatic, 2 amazing teams. Liquid has just been completely dominant. Scream has been on something else. That guy might be snorting G Fuel on his downtime because he's freaking clicking heads. He's popping the fuck off, not only on characters like Reyna, but on Sage too, and their no duelist composition on Haven just looks absolutely nuts. It's like a damn shutout. They just completely dominated the last team in order to qualify on that map. Now, when looking at the regions, I do think that overall EU looks a little bit more sloppy than a region like Korea. Individually, Liquid has been performing incredibly well, and they have a lot of very creative compositions. I'm incredibly excited to see specifically Liquid going up against your boy Tens because Sentinels qualified, baby. Now, that being said, Sentinels is actually in a really weird situation because we have no idea for sure if Tens is going to be able to actually play at the LAN. It's in Cloud9's best interest to allow Sentinels to loan Tens because Tens' stock goes up as he plays. But with rumors of Sinatra playing the game again and him actually talking on stream, not going to talk about the drama or anything like that. I'm not going to cover any of that news right now, but there is a potential that he actually gets back on the roster. And if that happens, what happens to Tens? And what happens if Cloud9 pulls Tens from Sentinels? Then what happens? Maybe if they can't get Sinatra, they can't get Tens, then who do they get? Just a random person? I have no freaking idea. It is actually very interesting to see what's going to be happening with Sentinels, but at the very least, Sentinels has proven that they are absolutely top tier, and Tens has proven himself at being just an amazing player, and I wouldn't be surprised if everything doesn't work out. Sentinels does whatever they can to get Tens, even if that means they have to pay out a fat check. I'm not entirely sure, but it would be very tragic for Sentinels to qualify and maybe even do well at the LAN or win it, and then all of a sudden Tens can't play on the roster. That would just be absolutely shitty. Don't know what's going to happen here, but I am excited at the very least that Sentinels is going to be playing, representing NA for sure. But we got to talk about the dark horse here, because there is a dark horse that qualified, and it's Version 1. Some of you might not know about them very well, but Version 1 is the legitimate team. They have taken down so many different teams. They took down Cloud9 multiple times. They took down NRG. They took down FaZe. They're a freaking nutty team, and they've just been slowly getting better and better. Not only have they been getting more familiar with their roster, they made a couple of changes, and it looks like the current iteration right now is looking really solid. It's hard to know how good this team is for long-term consistency because we just haven't seen them for very many games, and it's really hard to predict how they're going to do against the open field of LAN, but I, for one, love cheering on the underdog. So definitely keep an eye on this team, and to end it off, I'm going to be showing you a clip of them winning, their reaction, because it's so damn hype. Let's roll it right here.
Above, weird spot. He has knife. Nice! Let's fucking go!
Now, if that doesn't get you fucking hyped, I don't know what will. But go to the GameLeap website in the links down below for high quality, in-depth advanced guides, VOD reviews, tips, and tricks. We got so much damn content on the GameLeap website that you absolutely gotta check it out right now down below. Thank you so much for coming by. I hope you enjoyed the video. I love your faces, and I'll see you tomorrow.